Hey guys, welcome to a review. I don't know if this is actually going to count as a movie review or just me hating on something for however long this fucking video is. I'm going to be talking about Mulan 2020. Yeah, this fucking movie, a Disney live action movie. We all know I love these Disney live action remakes. I love them so fucking much. And now Disney did Mulan. Mulan was a movie that I don't know if it should have been remade, but the trailers looked interesting. Kind of like they were going like a Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, kind of House of Flying Daggers look, but more of like a PG kind of thing. But seemed interesting. I'm all for remakes if you want to make it a little different, a little more interesting and stuff. So if they're going to do the story and not do like a shot for shot like the fucking Lion King did, I'm all for that. But also just be a good fucking movie. Even if they go different, doesn't mean it's going to be good, because Maleficent is different from Sleeping Beauty, but Maleficent, both those movies suck ass. So I don't know, but I was still curious. But then fucking Disney came out with this thing that you got to pay $30 on Disney Plus, $30 to fucking see this movie. So I said, no, I'm out. I'm done. I'm done with this shit. I am not going to pay $30. But then someone in my household who will rename nameless, they paid. So I sat down and watched it anyways. So to see this film, see it, get a review out for you guys. I saw it a couple days ago. So sorry for the late review, but I gotta say, this movie, this fucking film, trash. Absolute garbage. One of the worst Disney live action remakes. Right there with The Lion King. It's right there with The Lion King. Is one of the worst piled asses I've seen. This movie is utter garbage. Fucking garbage. Is it exactly like the Disney film? No. It's same story, but it has differences. It basically, you know, that heart and that joy and the happiness you got from that Disney film, that animated film, there's none of that in this movie. This movie is a soulless film that has nothing interesting, compelling, or anything remotely good. Actually, I'll say this. Donnie Yen's in the movie. Donnie Yen is pretty good, and there's an action scene here and there that's pretty good, and the costumes look good. That's about it. The rest of this movie, pure, utter garbage. This movie stars Yufi Liu. I don't even know what the fuck this chick's name is, but she plays Mulan. Donnie Yen and Jet Li are in the movie as well. I'll get to Jet Li later, but wow, that was terrible too. But Yufi Liu plays Mulan, and she's a girl, strong, independent female who's more stronger than all the males. Fucking Mary Sue. This Mulan is the biggest Mary Sue I have seen. This is just annoying. Mulan was never a Mary Sue. She was always a great badass character that she had to grow to be a badass character. She was just a typical lady in China, and she just wants to bring honor to her family, even though she doesn't want to get married, but she'll still do it to bring honor to her family. But their dad is injured because of the war, so she takes his place, and she doesn't know how to fight. She doesn't know how to be strong as these men, but she learns, she conquers that. She learns to be a better fighter. She learns to be stronger, just as good as the men. And that's why that song, I'll Make a Man Out of You, is so compelling and riveting, because she's finally doing it. She's climbing up the thing. She's climbing up the log and getting that arrow. It's inspiring, because she is not that strong, but she makes herself that strong. She pushes herself. And that's what makes it such a great character. She also is very likable. She's very funny. She's very enjoyable. She has happiness. And she even falls in love in the movie because he's just as pure-hearted as she is. And he wants to bring honor to his family as well. And they actually share a connection with each other. Like, I don't know what it is when they think strong, independent females can't fall in love. Of course they can. And they can't have it in this movie and stuff. Like, she's already strong and badass. She doesn't want to be like the typical woman. She's a strong character. She joins the army in this movie, and she's already better than everyone. I'm like, okay, come on now. Seriously? Really? like There's no character arcs. For anybody in this movie, there's no character arcs. Everyone is the same character when the movie begins to the movie ends. Nobody learns anything. There is no growth in this movie. And that is horrible. How can anyone relate? Because we as human beings, we all grow and change as people. That's how people adapt. That's what people do. We grow. And that's what makes movies and characters great and inspiring, is that they change. They grow to be a better person. But no, Mulan's already perfect. She's already a great warrior. She's already this and that. She could do all these things. Like, what? Fuck off, movie. Like, that's like the one thing you need to keep about the original anime film. She's got to be just a typical female and then learns to be a stronger female. That's how people learn. This is like Rey Skywalker all over again. She's already knows everything. Like, that doesn't make for an interesting story or an interesting, compelling character. So, fuck you, movie, for destroying the character of Mulan and completely not even understanding the character of Mulan. People like Mulan and her as a character. They don't like her just because she's a badass female. That's not the reason why people like her. They like her because she's a likable character and she wants to bring honor to her family and, be a badass character, but also, protect the people she loves, protect her soldiers, her fellow friends and stuff. Like, she's an enjoyable character. This character is just this wooden, stale, badass character that has no emotions and just kind of stands there and does everything and be perfect and amazing. She's just perfect. She just stands there with her monotone face, like, I'll bring honor to us all. I'll bring honor to our family. I'm Mulan. Hey, guys, how's it going? Let's fight some people. Yay. I'm like, what? She's like the shittiest actress. This actress is so awful in this movie. She is fucking terrible. Like, give her a Razzie nomination. She was garbage. Some critics are saying, this girl's amazing. Like, really? Did we watch the same fucking movie? This is some of the worst piece of acting I've seen in some of these Disney live-action remakes. She is garbage in this role. She barely expresses any ounce of emotion. She can barely smile in the movie. It's so bad. Like, people do smile. Like, oh, God. Donnie Yen was the only one that was pretty good in the movie. I liked him in the movie, but Jet Li was the Emperor, and they dub his voice with his own voice. I think there was maybe something wrong in post-production or something, but his voice in this movie is awful. Like, what is happening? And then he's like the dumbest character. He knows people are after him, and he just goes out. He's like, yeah, I don't need any guards. And then he gets kidnapped. Like, you're a fucking idiot. Like, he's the stupidest character ever. Like, oh, there's characters in this movie that just do the most insanely stupid things, and Mulan's the only intelligent one. Because apparently everyone else is stupid, but Mulan is the only smart one. Because Mary Sue that shit up, right? And Mushu's not in the movie, which, okay, I knew that was happening, but they bring this phoenix in the movie, this bird that's supposed to help and guide her, and this bird does nothing. It could have been completely taken out of the movie. It does nothing to help Mulan. I don't even know why it's there or even exists. It's just fucking there. Because no one can help Mulan. Mulan's a strong, independent female character. Nobody can help her. But that's the thing about a Mary Sue. They're good at everything. They're perfect and great at everything. No one can help them. No one can. They're great at everything. Oh, this fucking movie. And this movie is directed by Nikki Caro, who did North Country, Whale Rider, and McFarlane USA. All good movies. I'm surprised she stooped this low and made this piece of crap SJW corporate Disney shit film like this. I hated this. I hated this movie so much. Even the CGI isn't that great. There's moments like I see like certain soldiers coming. I could tell that's CGI. Some scenes literally felt like it was something out of The Hobbit Battle of the Five Armies. Like, I'm not shitting. I'm like, what is this terrible CGI? It is awful. And the editing was choppy too. Like how they edit some of the battle sequences. They like cut and then they go to another scene that has nothing to do with this scene. I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm trying to focus on this fight sequence, but then they cut to another fight sequence. They put a lot of quick cuts and quick edits, and it's so choppy to look at. It's so choppy to watch. I'm like, what is happening? can anyone do anything right in this movie? And anytime like it remotely feels somewhat interesting, it's because they're copying the original film, but then they take anything that is delightful or joyful about that original film and make it this stale, lifeless film. Like I feel like everyone was miserable making this movie because no one expresses any ounce of joy or happiness in this film. It just is this really bland, bleak film that is just insanely stupid. And then there's this real villain. The villain isn't the villain from the original film. It's this witch. And she's a villain. And she doesn't want people to know she's the villain because people won't accept her as a villain because she's a female. She's a strong female character. But no one will accept her as that strong female character. Even though everyone knows who she is and everyone knows about the witch and is afraid of this witch. But she's like, no, people won't accept me as the villain. And they already accept her as the villain. So she's a walking contradiction. This villain makes no sense. Like, yeah, people won't accept me because I'm a female and stuff, but everyone's already afraid of her. So I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? I don't even think this movie knows what it's fucking talking about. Like, so I hated almost every second of this shit-stained film. Like I said, I think Donnie Yen's pretty good. I think some of the costumes look nice, and maybe there's an action scene here and there that's pretty good, but it's the same story, but with no joy or ounce of happiness in it. And there's nothing inspirational about it. Mulan was a character that girls can inspire to be, and boys want to just like, watch and be like, yeah, that's a cool, interesting character, very complex character. But this Mulan's nothing like that. I don't think any female should be like this Mulan. And I think any male who watches this Mulan will probably get bored as hell listening to her. Like, nothing about this movie is inspirational or a great message for kids. I think it has a very weird and mixed messages. Like, it's basically just saying, you're going to be perfect at everything. If you're a female and you want to be a warrior, you're just going to be good right away. Like, that's the message of this movie. You're just going to be good at everything. There's no struggle to join the army. There's no struggle. No, you'll just do fine. Like, that's not life. People struggle. People have to adapt into environments that they're not familiar with. And it's a struggle, and it takes time and patience and a lot of training and work to become that. But they don't show that in this movie. There's no hard work or training or just like something that Mulan actually has to genuinely struggle with. She's just naturally great and perfect at every fucking thing in this movie. And she achieves everything. She doesn't lose or anything. There's a scene in the Disney film where it literally gets sliced and shit. Like, she has to go through a lot of stuff. But she has to prove herself to be a good warrior. This movie, she's already a great warrior. But in the original anime film, she had to prove herself to her family and to her fellow soldiers. And it was inspiration. It was inspirational and very deep. None of that is in it. They sucked all of that lovability of that film out of this film. They just sucked it out. They should have just made it a musical or something. Like, I don't know. It was awful. And no, it's not as cool as House of Fire Daggers or Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. And I don't even know why it's PG-13. I don't know why it's PG-13. There's nothing violent about this movie. It should have been PG. I don't know where this PG-13 has come from. I've seen G-rated films more violent than this fucking movie. It tries to show like it's this dark, edgy war film, and it's not. It's a very kid-friendly movie, and it's not this hardcore, edgy film. Not in the slightest bit. So don't let that PG-13, think like, oh, this is a cool film, badass film. It's fucking not. It's a trash movie. It's absolute garbage. Pretty much as bad as Lion King. Lion King was bad, too, because it was a shot-for-shot remake. This one tries to be different, but it just sucks the life out of the original. So I'd say it's almost just as bad as the Lion King. Probably right there with it. It's like a 2 out of 10 if you wanted like a rating system. Like, it's like a 2 out of 10. But I didn't want to focus on the rating. I just wanted to just talk about how much I hated this movie. And people want to know my opinions. I hated it. I really wish Disney would stop doing these movies. They're really just destroying the great legacy Disney had with these animated films. And they're just destroying it now. And they just don't care. They don't care. They do not give a shit about making good stories with good characters. They don't care. They do not care. They just want your fucking money for you to pay money to see their crap-ass, lifeless, stupid films. don't see it. Don't pay the $30. It's a waste of time and it's a waste of money. Thank you guys for watching. And yeah, give me your thoughts and opinions in the comment section below. Tell me what your thoughts and opinions. Did you like this movie? If you did, that's fine. But give me your honest thoughts and opinions. If you think I'm wrong, that's fine. Comment below. Let me know. And as always, if you like this video, please subscribe to this channel and join the dark side.